my friend is being killed.
Yeah.
Secondly, I was a culprit, being accused of this very serious allegation. The boyfriend, who was the last person to be seen walking with his Zinhle out of the tavern. There was an anonymous call to the police that the boyfriend that I'm talking about buried the woman. Now this guy uncovered the fleece blanket, took a piece of wood, and there was a pool of blood in the blanket.
Sanibonani Mzansi, welcome to another episode of the Hope Revolution podcast. I'm your host, Unomcebo Wakayaga, your sister that is always available to listen to your story and engage with you. In this podcast, we provide a platform for open discussions on various challenges and experiences that are unique to both men and women. So if you're new to our channel, City, thank you for joining us, and please do not forget to subscribe and hit that notification button. But if you are not joining us for the first time, Sitakwande Lautate Corner, and thank you again for joining us. So as you all know that every week we do have a special guest that will come to our studio and share their story with us. The story might actually bring or make a difference into your life. You might be actually facing the same thing or the same challenge and you don't know how to work around it. So today we're joined by an amazing gentleman, Ubaba. Gimme. I can say Ubaba. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, ma'am, no problem. And how are you?
Ngiyabonga, Baba. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for accepting me.
To people who don't know you, singasho ukuthi Ubaba obani, and where does Ubaba come from?
My name is Vuyani. My nickname, that is familiar more than my name, is Panga.
Panga, okay.
Surname is Kahlana. I'm permanently residing at 452 Bardman Street, Fort Beaufort in Eastern Cape.
So is that an invitation to come in and get some coffee and
Please,
and cakes?
please, you'll be welcome.
Siyabonga.
You'll be welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. So, ekhuleni kwakho, how has been your upbringing? Ukhula kwakho, how has it been like?
Yeah, mina ngikhula nomakhulu, notamkhulu, who were just like a father and a mother to me. I grew up with them. They were parenting me from my 3 months old age up to I'm assuming around 35.
Okay. And
35 years
Uma,
of
was your mother available around that time?
Yeah, she was available. She's residing in Port Elizabeth, and she's working there, or she was working
She
there.
was working.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I
please
grew
take
up
us.
being umuntu wecawa.
Okay.
Yeah, ngikhonza 99.
99.
And I'm still.
God first.
Yeah, I'm still. Up until I die. I preach at home.
I like that.
Yeah, no. A very dynamic one.
I like that.
Yeah.
Siyathanda sithandi siphila ngentando yakhe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's always
exactly.
like that. So take us through, Baba Guti, what brings you here today?
Kindly asking to mix English and Xhosa.
Not a problem.
Not only because maybe I'm unable to express myself in English, but also I'm being mindful of the followers.
Sure.
You know, we sat down with my wife. Sacinga ukuthi masizise lesi story, so that members of the public can have a clear understanding. Trying to explain some issues esicinga ukuthi azicacile kakuhle, you know. And there's one broadcaster, if I may put it like that, that is Our News. within our region. And when I've been listening and going through, I've picked up that there are some things that I'm assuming, and my thinking, and me and my wife, we thought that we need to explain these things. There's one thing I want to explain also. I'm not here to clean my name.
Yes.
That's number one. I'm not here to take out what is in someone else's mind. I can't change that. Yeah, we're just here to expose the information for everyone to understand, because some of the community members bayabuza ukuthi into ethile ihamba kanjani kwesi story, into ethile ihamba kanjani. So that's why we are here, so that everyone can have a clear understanding. Whether you judge me or not, it's your baby, but as long as you know, yeah, that is the triggering factor as to why you are here.
Please take us through the story.
Fine. I think kwaku 2nd of June, if not 3rd of June, but the first Monday of June 2024, that is last year, when I received, or one of the security guards in the Department of Labor, Fort Beaufort, called me and said, someone ufuna ukuncedwa lapha phandle. When I got there on the security guard, or on the gate, I met Ubaba. It was my first time to see him face to face. He introduced himself that Ubaba Zinhle. Zinhle is the deceased, my ex-colleague. Ubaba Zinhle has been trying to call Uzinhle the entire weekend. He couldn't find her. In other words, Zinhle was missing in his explanation. And to me, it was still very early in terms of the day, because it was Monday. You know, sometimes we become late in Monday and Fridays, you know. Namthatha kubaba ndimsa office ka-manager. Unfortunately, at that time, we were told that the manager uye kwa-Spar to buy food. 2-3 minutes down the line, as much as I cannot be accurate, I'm assuming, I'm estimating. Then the manager came back and called me, and I said, Ubaba Zinhle ulindile la ngaphandle kweyard. He wanted to meet up with you. And the manager said I must call him, and I went out of the yard to call Ubaba Zinhle. Ubaba Zinhle narrated the story that the girl was missing, and he is here, that is in the workplace, to report. Also to check that are there any whereabouts or someone who knows Zinhle's whereabouts. All of us, we didn't have a clue. But the manager instructed me to call one of my colleagues who used to enjoy themselves together during the weekends. And the guy explained that it was around 10:30 Friday, that is Friday before the Monday, that they last saw her with her boyfriend at Myvo's Tavern in Fort Beaufort. One thing that I needed to clarify is the fact that mina ngiwahamba amatavern. Ngisho vuliwe. Yeah. As I said, I grew up as a Christian and a preacher. I'm not saying I'm holy. I've got my own weaknesses, but I'm a tavern ngiwahambi, and I don't party and what have you. So automatically at that time, I'm at home with my wife and kids.
Yes.
And the guy narrated that we last saw her, with her boyfriend at Myvo's Tavern, and there was a bit of an argument between her and her boyfriend. And they marched out of the tavern. That was the last scene. And then this Monday, I'm explaining about Tata Kazinhle came to our workplace and the story waqalelwa story.
Yes.
Fine. And then he went to the police station to report Baba Kazinhle.
Baba Kazinhle,
Yeah, to
okay.
report that the lady is missing and what have you and what have you. Now, this Monday, me and Ubaba Kazinhle ended up exchanging numbers, stating that, or he stated that, if by chance we managed to see Zinhle's boyfriend, because he was nowhere to be found, Zinhle's boyfriend. He is our colleague also, you know. If it happens, we see the boyfriend or we know the whereabouts, I can call him, and also he will call me to give the updates and what have you. I was worried. I took it light in the morning, but during the course of the day, and as I was always seeing the movements and the involvement of the police and stuff, I started to be worried. Reason being, one, Zinhle is my colleague. Number two, a friend. When I have a problem with my car, we go together with the hair polo to fetch my wife and kids from school. So not only me in my family who is familiar with Zinhle, my kids and my wife.
Sure.
And in her phone, he took pictures with my kids, you know. So I was worried and I was a bit anxious. I think late in the evening, I did call Zinhle's father to check, because we have changed the numbers, you know. He was driving to East London, and he said that there's no new development in terms of the information. Also on our side, there was no development. And then it was Tuesday, the following day. We've got a visiting site, or a satellite office, if I may put it like that, in Alice. Me and my colleague, we went there to assist people. Remember, our government is for the people and by the people.
Yeah.
So we ought to bring services to the people. Alice is plus minus 20 k's from Fort Beaufort. We drove to Alice to, of course, to assist the clients. Sabanceda ke laba bantu. You know, most poor people, they don't have money to go to Fort Beaufort and what to use. So that is the plan of the government, to take services to the people. And then we finished around 1 o'clock this Tuesday. And then we drove back to Fort Beaufort in our office. Halfway, when we were approaching Fort Beaufort, my colleague, a male colleague, phoned the other colleague, the one who explained that we last see Zinhle.
Yes.
Yeah. And this guy said, silapha kwi apartment or indlu or a flat ka boyfriend with the police, colleagues, and maybe some few members of the community, trying to search the whereabouts, you know, because also the boyfriend, who was the last person to be seen walking with Zinhle out of the tavern. And one of the triggering factors as to why he was suspected is because, one, he was nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
His phone was off. Number three, in the last one, no one says his Zinhle's boyfriend went around asking, where is she, as a concerned person. You know, that triggered us to be more anxious about what happened. And then that is I and my colleague, we drove to the flat okanye indlu kaZinhle's boyfriend.
Okay.
And then really ke safika amapolisa lapha, few members of the community were there. Zinhle's father and mother, they were there. I'm assuming also with the cousins, if not cousin, of Zinhle, a male guy, a bit darkish in complexion. Now, as we were there, one of my colleagues, a lady, made mention of the fact that there was an anonymous call. And what I'm saying is on the public domain, is what I said during my bail application.
Yeah.
This colleague said there was an anonymous call to the police that the boyfriend that I'm talking about buried the woman along his yard. So that was the information that concluded everything. As much as we did not confirm the truth of the statement, but when someone's being buried, that means she's being killed automatically. And we started being worried. And that is the information that made us to look around as to find the leads. I did not dream about this thing. There's no call that I received. But this lady was my colleague, and I was specific in court to call the name, But I'm a bit cautious because this was the social media.
Yeah.
But everyone who needs the specification can go to court and listen, maybe our news, and listen my bail application. You'll find everything there. Fine. Now, we started searching. It was me and my colleague, the one we drove from Alice.
Okay.
And this guy was the first one to identify the fleece blanket, a gray fleece blanket. And Zinhle, when it's too cold, used to cover herself with the fleece gray blanket. As this guy saw and identified this fleece blanket, and I started now to be nervous. This guy's house or apartment is right on top of the river, so we were down on the river when my colleague identified the fleece blanket. I'm assuming my own measurement by my naked eye, plus minus 2 meters or so from the fleece blanket. Or I'm forgetting something. Now this guy uncovered the fleece blanket, took a piece of wood, and there was a pool of blood in the blanket. Nervous as I was, and I was starting to look around, and I saw a soil, like a grave, covered with branches of tree. And I was starting to remove the branches, and I encountered palpitations, and I started to be really nervous. And immediately I called Zinhle's father. Remember, we exchanged the numbers.
Yeah.
We phoned each other yesterday and last night for the same story. I immediately called him. By then, I had only data. I didn't have an airtime. I WhatsApp called him, as we did yesterday. Daddy, please come this side with the police. We see something here. Really, a few minutes they were there with the police. This guy, that is my colleague, who first identified the fleece, stood just next to me. And as I was explaining to the father with the police that my colleague first identified the fleece, and I saw that soil covered with what you call with the trees. And then Zinhle's father said to the police, I told you, pointing the police, that this guy, pointing me, that this guy knows where my daughter is. That was the end of the story. I was arrested there and then. Now, down on the river, I was arrested there, and to my concern, how come it be the father of the deceased instruct the police on what to do?
Sure.
Because in my own understanding, he was emotional. In my own understanding, he is not trained as to investigate. Then how come he was able to instruct the police to arrest me? And indeed, the police did so. I was arrested. Now, I was asking the police, look, if I'm arrested, why this guy is being left behind? Because he first identified the fleece.
Exactly.
Then in my own understanding, they're supposed to take the two of us. No one took note of what I was saying. Number two, the colonel of the police instructed that there must be a video clip showing me pinpointing the grave. I immediately said to him, can I correct you? I did not say the grave, because when you say the grave, you automatically know what is inside.
Sure.
I said to you, the soil covered with the branches of the tree. Number one. Number two, I said to the colonel, look, I will comply because I've got nothing to hide, but please show the video first of the guy who first identified the fleece. This second round also, no one took note of what I said. I was obliged, forced to take or to appear on the video pointing the grave. That was the concluding factor on the public, communities, and everyone that really I killed the woman. Reason number one, the video is shown that I pinpointed the grave. Number two, how did I find out that there is a grave down the river? And I explained this on my bail application, that there was a call. I'm told by, or we are told by this person who is our colleague, there was a call. I didn't dream about this thing, and I was searching just like anyone. Remember, this is my friend. This is my friend. I was anxious. I was worried. That's the triggering factor as to why I was with this colleague of mine searching for the leads. At least for me to have a closure of what is happening, But I was arrested.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I couldn't believe. As I was complying, and Zintle's father was swearing at me, and police were there. They didn't reprimand him. He was doing what he likes. He was using the vulgar language towards me, and I was arrested, handcuffed, thrown in the police buggy, and I was mesmerized. One, being worried that my friend is being killed.
Yeah.
Secondly, I was a culprit, being accused of this very serious allegation, of which I didn't have a clue. I was taken to the police station, and the community started to make a noise that Mr. So-and-so, that is Vuyani Kahlana, that's me, killed this woman, and what have you, and whatever. Yeah.
So, as you said, Uguti Uzindle was a colleague, and also her boyfriend was your colleague.
Yes.
Throughout their relationship, didn't you notice any strange thing, maybe some sort of abuse in the relationship, or everything was looking all glamorous from the outside?
Yeah. The thing is, obviously, they are my colleagues.
Yes.
You can detect
Yes.
when there's a negative energy
Sure.
between the two. And it was almost regular to see them not seeing eye to eye. At some time, it is because the one called the other and the one did not pick up the phone and what have you, and they fight about that. And the one went to visit his home in Transkei and it did not report whatever. So, yeah, there were ups and downs in the relationship. Yeah, as much as I don't have the details.
Sure.
Yeah, it was an open secret that there were ups and downs.
So the body was found, is it the same yard at the boyfriend's place, or is it a distance from the boyfriend's place?
Yeah, it's a bit distance. It's a bit of distance. I'm using my own estimation. I didn't take measures. Plus minus 50 meters, if I may be correct, from the boyfriend's. He was renting a flat.
Okay.
You know? Now. But ekupheleni kweyard yale ndawo is the river.
Okay.
Ne?
Yes.
Hence we went to the river because we can see the surrounding environment in the yard, that there are no leads. Then it took us to go to the river, me and my colleague. And I thank God that it was not me alone. And I thank God that it was not me alone, because there might be questions. Ne? And it makes sense to question as why you were alone and why you alone, who informed you and what have you. But I'm explaining what happened. And I'm explaining that I was with the colleague. And when I was arrested alone. And I asked the police, why me alone? No one took note of what I was saying. Fine.
So after getting the blanket, so your colleague identified the blanket. That blanket, I think I know it. That polyfleece, I think I know it.
Yeah.
And then you called the father to come, and he came immediately.
Yeah.
Would you say that already in the back of his mind, he saw you as a killer? Because as you said that when you explained everything, he didn't take it, but already it's like he knew that it's you before you even explained anything.
Obviously. The reason why I'm saying obviously, he started asking me questions of which I was not aware of what triggers him or what perception he has. In our workplace, when I went out to call him, being called by the manager, he said, the time you were with me, I went to my car, we passed the front door. But when you come calling me, because I'm called by the manager, you used the back door. Why? I didn't know why these questions. Ne? But on the river, when I was arrested, he said, I asked you that why you went on the front door with me, but when you came back to call me, you used the back door. What difference it makes? You know, because to me, the office of the manager is almost at the back. Now, the distance was short for me to use the back door to the front gate. That's the only reason as to why I used the front gate. And what's the relevancy of using either door? It's a door. I would hear if you were saying I jumped off the window, you know, but that is something else. A door is an entrance and an exit.
Sure.
You know? I was confused, but it's then that my mind told me, oh, since I used that door, he followed me as a suspect. And I don't blame him. Reason being, he's not trained to do the work.
Sure.
He did not investigate. He used just emotions. But I have a problem with the police. That's where my problem is.
Did he knew that Zinhle's boyfriend, like on a face-to-face?
I am not sure. I cannot lie.
Do you think maybe he might have...
But what makes me to think so is because he phoned Zinhle's boyfriend. As to where he got the number from and how and why he's comfortable to talk with him, I don't know.
Because I would have said that maybe he thought you might be the boyfriend. You know, when you come to the workplace and they tell you, "Hore, no, Zinhle is dating someone in the company," and
Yeah.
automatically you might think, "Hore, oh, maybe I once saw him with this gentleman," as
Okay.
you said that you are friends and she knew your wife, she knew your kids. So someone might think, "Oh, maybe it's the boyfriend," you know?
It makes sense what you are saying. Reason being, I drove with Zinhle on numerous occasions
Sure.
to her home
Yes.
in East London. That is her father's house. Most especially when we had workshops. Eh? But the matter of fact, we did not see face to face me and the father.
Sure.
And one time it was during the night when I dropped Zinhle in the place. That is number one. Number two, there is a rumor when I was arrested that I dated Zinhle. So it makes perfect sense what you are saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
How has this whole situation affected you? Being falsely accused, you are arrested, you have a family, you've got kids. Worst part in the community, how has it affected you? Because it's not
It
just...
affected me a lot.
Yeah.
That's what I can say. Number one, financially, I'm drained.
Yeah.
I paid more than, I'm not saying I paid. I paid more than 120,000 for legal fees. That's number one. Number two, emotionally, I'm drained. I went through sessions with the psychologists, doctors, and now I have appointment with the psychiatrist. You know, I've got 3 kids, 2 daughters and 1 boy. All of them, they went on sessions with the psychologist. They are gone for treatment.
Yeah.
For depression and what have you, and it impacted negatively on their performance at school.
Sure.
And the school principal of my boy, you know, he handled the matter very professional in the sense that when she noticed my boy, she employed a teacher for only my boy.
To focus on him.
Someone who went to university doing psychology for kids and whatever. So my boy is being taught by one teacher because he could not manage. 7-year-old, he could not manage. My wife is depressed, and you know, he's being ill-treated by members of the church, members of the community, colleagues, public officials. You know, yeah, it was just a havoc. It was just a havoc. There is a tangible evidence that I can use it at anywhere, stating that 1, someone must be killed because I killed Zinhle. One of my children must be taken. You know, so that alone speaks volumes. Yeah, that alone speaks volumes. There's one thing that I need to emphasize here, and it is my wish that it can get to where it's relevant.
Yeah.
I was arrested, as I mentioned. Plus minus 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, being in prison. Of course, as a trialist. Police, both in the night and in the day, visited my house. For what good reason? I don't know. And my wife, when my wife and the neighbors came along to ask them, they ran away. I mean literally to run away. No? That's number 1. Number 2, they parked their cars not in front of the yard or gate. They parked their cars down the street as if, you know, they have a negative agenda. Because in my own understanding, there are relevant people to visit my house at any given time. There are reasonable people to go to my house and ask my whereabouts on the date and
Yes.
what have you.
Correct.
Why they were running when my wife came along and the neighbors. Why they packed their cars down the street. You know? And that alone frustrated my entire family because they were not safe, not only to the members of the community, but police themselves. And my wife, I thank God, because she was very fast in thinking.
Yeah.
There and then she went to the police station and write a written report. It is still there. A written report and the complaint with the registration number of the car that was being used. And the registration number is still there.
Was it always the same car?
No.
Same people or different people?
Same people,
Different cars.
but also there are other that were new.
Okay.
This number plate, yes, is for the police, forensic. Not in Fort Beaufort, but King Williamstown. What is relevant about this? I don't know.
That at the time you were arrested.
I have 2 weeks in prison, if not more.
At home, it's your wife
And
the
kids.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Because already they got the person that
Exactly.
they want. So at home, to my wife and kids, what more information do you need?
Look, on the day of the arrest, I said to the police, look, you can go to my house and ask my wife. If you think that she can be mischievous, then ask the kids of my whereabouts for the entire weekend, because I spent the entire weekend with them. They did not do so. And if they were there to do so, why they ran away? If they were there to do so, why they parked their cars down the street, not in front of my yard?
So do you think that the plan of revenging you with your family, it was the time it started? Because remember, as you said, that you have tangible evidence to say, Guti, there was a plan that it's either your child will go missing or whatever they're going to do just because they think you killed Uzinhle.
No. Also, what I'm going to say is the perception.
Perception.
No evidence, it's only what I think.
Okay.
And then you cannot hold someone responsible of the
Sure.
thinking. Fine. Look, I was arrested. Few weeks down the line, the police visited my house. No? Privately, if I may put it like that. My assumption tells me that they went there to plant evidence against me. That's my perception. Reason being, on the social media, it was written that the police find Zinhle's clothes in my garage on the social media. That's number one. Number two, the police find 20,000 in my house that Zinhle's boyfriend paid me to kill my friend. Social media. So my perception tells me that they went there to plant evidence against me, because the reality is that they don't have evidence against me, and they will not have, because I was not there. Number one, I did not contribute. Number two, I don't have a clue as to what happened.
Luckily, your wife acted fast.
That's what I said.
So they would have went inside, planted everything,
Yeah.
framed you, and then they come back to do a search.
Exactly. That's my perception. If not, why they ran away? Because they are vanguards of the law. They are the enforcers of the law. Why they ran away? And my wife, on the written report, she also forwarded this thing to DPP. For DPP to make the point that they are not the ones who are going to be responsible of the case because of this fishy visit.
Yeah.
And really it was done so. All what I'm saying is documented. All what I'm saying, there's a tangible evidence. When you send someone an email, the email tells you the date, time, and the email address.
Yeah,
So
sure.
you can find it at any given time.
What do you think would have caused... Okay, I understand that Zinhle's father was in an emotional state
Yeah.
around that time. But Why you? What do you think would have came into his mind and say, oh, it's a situation where, ekhaya, when someone died or bulewe, we always want to find comfort in pinning everyone or anyone and say, okay, I'll get closure, just someone must stay in jail for the murder. And sometimes even if they know that this person didn't murder this person, but just for you to get that closure. Do you think it was something maybe he never liked you at first? First sight, he just never liked you? Or it was one thing that they have a good relationship with Zinhle's boyfriend?
Yeah, the thing is, fortunately, I'm someone, when I speak, I don't wobble around. I speak facts. And when I'm not sure of my facts, I tell you that this is my perception.
Yeah.
Now, number one, Zinhle's father mentioned that he was suspecting something from me because of my anxiousness. That's number one. Number two, because I called him last night, that is Monday evening.
Yes.
One, to report to him that we didn't see any leads. Number two, to check if he is safe in driving. Remember, he was emotional. Remember, this is her
daughter.
Her daughter. No? Number three, remember, this is my friend. This is my father's friend. That is why I am anxious too. That is why I cared if he is safe where he's driving to. Because he's my father's friend. That's the bottom line. Lastly, also this is my concluding factor. When my wife and her sister went to the church office, that is police station, one of the investigating officers, who is the lady, told them that Zinhle's father went to the witch doctor, and the witch doctor said it's me who's participated in the act. So, obviously, he suspected me because it that the witch doctor said it's me.
Sure. But if I have something in the back of my mind to say it's you, ngingaya noma kuliphi igqirha, I'll get that answer to say it's you.
Still, I'm maintaining what I said. It makes sense what you are saying. Still, I don't have a problem with Zinhle's father. He's a concerned person. He's directly involved because he's the father.
Sure.
But what about the police? They are cold-blooded in this thing. They are not related in this thing. They were supposed to investigate and arrest me based on what they have.
Evidence. Sure. So everything from scratch didn't go according to plan. It was not a law that was followed.
Yeah.
There were not procedures that were correctly followed.
Exactly.
Because I can't say arrest this guy.
Yeah.
Firstly, they're going to have to ask me, why are we arresting him? What evidence do you have? Or maybe get some full information from me. So I think personally it could be maybe he has already briefed them about you.
Exactly. On that point,
It could be.
the IO, the investigating officer, what I'm going to say is recorded during my bail application. The investigating officer of my case said in the court, Zinhle's father told us that Mr. Kahlana, that is me, knows something about my daughter. So they discussed with the police.
Sure.
Yeah.
And after you got arrested, you stayed there for how long?
For 3.5 months.
3.5 months. So in this process of 3.5 months, you were the only accused.
No. Same day that I was arrested, that is the first Tuesday, if my memory serves me well, of June 2024. Zinhle's boyfriend was arrested also. The police managed to search for him via the cell phone technology.
Tracking.
Yes, they tracked him and they found him in Transkei
Okay.
in his car. That's what is being said. He was arrested on the same day. Surprisingly, I said to him, I'm a preacher. God cannot be silent. On the same day that I was arrested, there was a guy who was moving from Tabernacle Police Station, from the cell of Tabernacle Police Station
Okay.
to Fort Beaufort Police Station.
Where you were.
Yeah. So I
Okay.
met this guy. And this guy was saying, Zinhla's boyfriend, that is the accused number one, I met him in Tabernacle. He said, you know nothing about the case. Why are you arrested talking about me? And to me, it brought a heavy confusion because the police said to me in the police station, one of the reasons as to why I'm being arrested, it's because Mr. Maga, that is the Zinhla's boyfriend, said I helped him in the act. But now, the very same person I helped in terms of the information, he's saying I know nothing about this. You know? And I've been longing to see him and to talk with him as to why he said, but that's what being said by the police.
Sure.
How do you say I helped you? Where did we meet? Did we talk about this? Did you give me the clue? How did I help you? And the police said their kind of work does not allow them to bring Mr. Maga, that is his little boyfriend, so that I can ask him the question. They said no, they won't do that. And they made the point that we don't meet. As I'm telling you that, he slept in Tabernacle Police Station. I slept in Fort Beaufort Police Station. But they didn't want us to meet. Why? They know. I don't know.
So you sitting with this gentleman, he's telling you that why are you here? Because Mang and Limang and so told me that you are not involved.
You know that at the time this young boy told me this, we were resting. And when he said this, I stood up. I stood up, amazed, mesmerized, as to why this confusion now.
Yeah.
Because in my mind, I've been longing to see this gentleman and ask him. But this new information is saying, this guy said, you know nothing about this. And I stood up. And the police made the point that we don't meet. That is why I have a question around this.
Why?
Because if you are arrested for the same case, my understanding is that if you say I helped you, you're supposed to be eager to see me because you know what you know.
Yes.
And we discussed why they separated us throughout.
So in this process of 3 months,
Before we get there,
yeah,
I spent 3 days in police station
Okay.
and 3 nights. On the 4th day, if my memory serves me well, but it was past the 48 hours that the law states that I must be charged before 48 hours. It was past that when I was taken to the charge office, that is investigator's office. It was then that I saw Mr. Maga. And I don't want to lie to you. We were tortured. I was beaten. They put a plastic bag on my head so that I can suffocate. They handcuffed me into the piece of an iron, and I was on the sky. My entire weight was on my wrist. You know, I was really tortured. And Mr. Maga too was tortured. That's what he said to me then after. But remember, we were tortured on separate offices. And he told me when we met in prison that these guys, that is the police, said to him, he must say, I assisted him. And when he said no, they kicked him into pieces because they wanted him to say, I helped him. And this guy, fortunately, he is having a medical report to search. I'm not talking something that I think. I'm not talking my perception. There's a documentary evidence by the doctor. And he was fortunate because when the police took him to King, he asked them that he can see the doctor forgot this name of the hospital, but the hospital in Qobo, Case Kamau. Forgot the name of the hospital. SS Gida. Yeah, SS Gida Hospital. When I asked the police, at least for me to see the doctor, they said no. The investigating officers, before they handed me to police station, they were supposed to take me to the doctor. I said, it's fine, but I need to see the doctor. Not for reports. I don't care about that. But for my well-being.
Yes.
At least to get the medication. They refused to give me that opportunity. Why? I don't know. That is number one. Or number two. Number three, when they took me to the correctional services in King Williamstown, as I got there, the prison warders told me that the police who handed you, that is to correctional services, were supposed to give you an opportunity to see the doctor. Then we can't. So it was a blame game to everyone that I must not see the doctor. I'm assuming they did so because they didn't want me to have an evidence, period. So in actual fact, I didn't see the doctor. And I was avoided, deprived the right to see the doctor.
But what I want to understand, what were you being tortured for? Because, with the other gentleman, he's being tortured because he's being forced to frame you.
And surprisingly, they were torturing someone who said, I did this. He was admitting
to it.
But they were forcing him to say something else more than the admission of guilty. Yeah.
So, what were you being tortured for? He's being tortured for, listen, you're going to say this. If you're not going to do it, we're going to beat you up. But with you, what were you being tortured for?
They said I must tell them, how did I assist? I chose number one. That question is relevant, but it's relevant for someone who's not being arrested, so as to give them the leverage to arrest. But they arrested me and asked me later, how did I assist it? That doesn't make sense?
No, it doesn't.
Exactly.
So after being tortured and you've been prevented or stopped from seeing a doctor.
You know, I'm forgetting something. When I felt a tremendous pain, suffocating, not being able to breathe, I said to him, I killed Zinhle. They said, what? I repeated, I said, I have killed the woman. Give me a piece of paper and a pen so that I can write it and sign it, so that we can have a tangible evidence that I wrote this, instead of being tortured up until now. And they refused to give me the paper.
They still refused?
They refused to give me the paper and the pen. They said, I'm fooling them. And I asked them, then therefore, what is it that you want from me? You arrested me because you said I assisted. I said, yes, I did. Give me a pen and paper for me to write it. They refused.
Was there a place in prison where you were able to report your matter? To say, I'm being abused, this and that?
I went to the clinic. I saw the nurse. And it was registered, the date and my name. No? But they refused to take me to the nearest hospital.
So they didn't want it to go further?
Yeah.
They just wanted to, check if it's fine and let him go back?
Yeah. And the question that I need them one day to answer, if I was okay, There was nothing wrong with me. Why did I visit at the clinic? Why they registered my name and the date? What they wrote on the reason for the visitation. I wish to know that. You can't take someone who's normal, no pain, no nothing, to the clinic. You can't register on the book that Mr. So-and-so. What is the reason for the visitation? And did they investigate as to why I was there? Did they make a follow-up as to why I was there? Till now.
So after the whole arrest, you've stayed there. They started their investigation. Was there ever any investigation that was done, or it's something that they just decided, you know what, he's guilty? Was there ever any investigation that came through to clear your name?
That's what they were saying. That's what is written or was written on the social media. As I told you that there was 20,000 they found in my home. I wish they find that 20,000. The reason why I'm saying this, I'm driving a BMW E90 320i. 4 days before the arrest, 4 days before the actual arrest, my BMW was standing because of the battery. The battery is plus minus 3,000. I was supposed to buy that battery immediately and drive my car. Having 20,000 and being unable to buy a battery for 3,000 does make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Doesn't.
Yeah. So they wrote on the social media. I'm assuming that they were covering their tracks as to say, we arrested him because we found evidence against him, 20,000, and I'm not sure. How did they know that this 20,000 was from Mark? Was 50 rand from you and 50 rand from that gentleman? There's no difference. There's no signature. How do you say this 50 rand comes from so-and-so arrest, assisted so-and-so to do? How do you say?
It doesn't make sense.
Do you get what I'm saying? Lastly, the charges are dropped. There is no evidence. But the police said they have the tangible evidence. What I'm saying is being recorded on my bail application. The IO investigating officer said, we've got all the evidence, including the GPRS of his phone, that is my phone, stated that on such and such a time, that is the time of the killing and the time of burying the woman, I was there. But the NPA, National Prosecuting Authority, to DPP, both they said there is no evidence. I'm assuming the entire community is right when they think that I bribed for me and for the court to withdraw the charges. Because when the police are saying there is a tangible evidence and then suddenly this one, all charges are withdrawn,
It looks like
the
that.
society, the country, and my Fort Beaufort community must ask the police, where is that information? Where is that evidence now? It is the right time for them to bring that evidence.
Makes sense.
Yeah, they must bring that evidence. And also, I need that evidence.
So after the charges have been dropped, did you get a chance to see Zintla's father again?
No.
No.
In fact, Zintla's father, I think I saw him on the first and second court appearance. Then after, he was no longer there with the family.
And then after your charges have been dropped due to no evidence, Zintla's boyfriend, was he still behind bars or he was released also?
We were sleeping on the same bed in prison, same room, number one. Number two, I was released on the bail appeal because I was denied the bail
At first.
at first.
Yeah.
I had to appeal to the High Court for me to get free. I did nothing. I'm innocent, but they locked the doors. They closed all avenues. Bail denied for someone who's innocent. And I will be innocent up until Jesus comes. You know? I only got the chance when I made a bail appeal in High Court. It was then that I was released after 3.5 months. It was then that I left Zintla's boyfriend.
Inside.
Yes.
So while you were
I forgot
something.
Yeah.
Sorry, you can continue.
Something. I forgot a very, very important factor here.
Yeah.
When I was doing or undergoing my bail application, I mean on the formal proceedings of the court, when everyone was there, your magistrate, Mchuchisi, what do you call Mchuchisi?
Is it a prosecutor?
Prosecutor, our representatives, both accused number 1 and accused number 2 were there. Zintla's boyfriend mentioned that please release Mr. Kahlana, that is accused number 2, that is me. No? Release him in this case. He knows nothing. I'm the one who did it. But no one took note of what he said. And I'm amazed when now they are trying to investigating someone who pleaded guilty from the onset. Why the investigation? I don't know. I'm not a legal aspect. I'm just a lay person. But at least I'm using my common sense.
So while you were arrested in the same cell with Zintla's boyfriend, obviously you were sleeping in the same cell, through the conversations that you had, did he ever mention to you that I did it? Besides saying it in front of everyone, like having umuntu ngizotini yahlambuluka to say
look,
I did it.
Look, as much as Zintla's boyfriend is my colleague, but remember we're not enemies. Even in the workplace we talked. No? He told me in prison, as he continued saying to the police, free this man, that is me. He said in the court, free this man, talking about me. He also said, same thing with the prisoners. Remember, we socialize as prisoners. Plus minus 60 in the same cell. A room of this nature. 60, 60. Sleep 2 or 3 in the single bed. Can you have a picture?
Yeah.
Fine. He told even the prisoners that this man knows nothing. I'm confused as to why he is here. Firstly, I assumed that's what he said. Firstly, I assumed that this is a politician because I saw people from a certain political party wearing their regalia, toying. I said, oh, this is political. So it's nothing to do with this because I said on numerous occasions, release this man. Maybe this is political. And I was confused to see me as a politician for the first time. For the first time. Yeah.
What do you want to see happen? Yini ofuna ukuyibona iyenzeka? Your name has been tarnished. Your freedom has been tarnished. Your family has been affected by this.
Health also.
What is one thing what mawuhlele you want to see happening through yonke lento ondlule kuyo?
The fortunate part is that I'm someone who is strong psychologically and emotionally.
Yeah.
You know, I would like to be emphatic on what I'm going to say. And I wish I can draw a clear picture for everyone to know what I'm going to say and to put themselves into my shoes. I nearly believed that I've killed the woman. Let me repeat my statement. I nearly believed that I've killed the woman. When I was arrested, when there were people toying about my name, when my name was being written on the placards, when the police tortured me for quite some time, suffocating me for quite some time. You see, my family being ill-treated,
Sure.
being denied the bail application as my right, for me to be free from this case, I had to make a bail appeal. Oh, you use money there, you don't play. You use money there, you don't play.
If you don't have money.
And if you do, look.
Stay.
One of the things that I wish South Africa can rectify. One, arrest someone because there are clues, there are evidences. Even if it's not enough, but at least there must be a point to start. Arrest that one. But my major problem, not only about me. In South Africa, if you don't have money, you are in for high jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you are in for high jump. Look, I'm saying this not only for me. I spent 3.5 months in prison. We talked with prisoners. They explained as to why someone is there, plus minus for a year now, being arrested because he slept under the tree, being drunk, of course, and his friends were stealing the cables, and they were under the same tree. Huh? And when the community and the police came, they ran away, leaving this one deadly asleep because he was drunk and he was the one who was caught. And he was the one being instructed that bring us the ones who ran away. He is locked behind bars. But it is said that he must bring those who ran away. That there are people who are in prison for absolutely no apparent reason. I'm pleading. I'm begging. I'm falling down on my knees for the Minister of Police to bring proper tools to train the police to do their work. Look, people are milking the government because of the wrongful arrest.
Sure. And it's becoming a norm.
What is it that our government is doing? What is it that our government is doing? Are the police who are wrongfully arresting these people being held accountable for what they've done? Is the performance measuring tool being accurate as to measure their output as workers? What is it that is happening? I'm really concerned. I'm not talking about me here, but I'm talking about these scenarios that are recurring desma. And there's money involved, souls being involved, rights being deprived as per our constitution. Are they promoting a lawlessness country? What is it that is being done? I'm really concerned. I'm really concerned because I suffered.
You've been there.
I lost my job because of this case. I don't have a cent now. An innocent person being arrested for 3.5 months, tortured, kicked, beaten, deprived his rights, his family being ill-treated left and right. My wife took 6 months leave. 6 months leave, not for casual reasons, seen by the doctor, seen by the psychologist, undergone treatment. There is a tangible evidence as to why this leave. My kids took treatment for absolutely no apparent. My 10-year daughter. I was told by a psychologist when I came from the prison, because my 10-year-old daughter asked the psychologist why this community ill-treated my father. My father spent time preaching for nothing in their funerals.
Yeah.
When they lost their loved ones, my father counseled them, doing counseling for free, visiting the poor for support. asking people, assisting people. Some they used to come in my house in the course of the evening, asking me to assist them, as if I'm in the office during office hours. I did. And some, because it's during the course of the evening, I take my car and drive them for them to be safe. I was confused when I saw their pictures on Facebook when I came back. I was confused.
Clearly, you can't confirm a person.
I did not beat someone. I mean, when I grew up,
Yeah.
I tried my utmost best to be morally upright, to be an ethical person. My assumption is based on the fact that when you hear something about someone you respect, then you tend to ask yourself questions, not to quickly judge, not to quickly react, but why the community did this. Of course, somehow I may have the answer in terms of my perceptions that it's because of their level of trust in the police. So when the police are saying they have enough evidence, it is then that we can judge this person. But where is that bloody evidence now? Why they are not presenting the evidence so that the community can see the evidence, or they tell the community that there is no evidence, so that I can be freed from this? Yes, I'm free from court. Yes, I'm free from from prison, but my name is tarnished for no apparent reason. And I will not clean that forever. And I don't care. My consciousness is clean. My mind is upright.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. Because I'm not responsible to take what someone else is thinking about me.
Yeah.
I'm not responsible for that. And I will not be responsible for that up until Jesus comes. I'm sorry. You know, one guy told me that when you come from prison, please protect yourself. Be cautious of moving around because you are going to be killed. As I told you that it is written.
Yes.
I said to him, I will go wherever. I will walk freely. And if one wants to kill me, then it's fine. I can't hide myself for something that I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't hide myself for something that I never contributed. I can't hide myself for something that I did never have a clue of it. If one wants to kill me, then it's okay. And I'm fine with that. I drove from Eastern Cape to Joburg because I owe no one an explanation. I don't need to protect myself. If the people who are vanguards of the law, who are supposed to protect us, are the very same people that makes us to be culprits of being attacked and assassinated and whatever, then it's fine with me. I'm okay.
Your story is eye-opening because we always hear stories ukuthi abantu, they've been arrested for things that they don't know.
Exactly.
Falsely accused.
Exactly.
And abanye, they are even given 10 years, 15 years, 25
exactly.
years. They're chilling there, they're waiting, they will be lied one day. And to have someone to come to our studio to share their experience with, I've been falsely accused, I'm a victim of that. It gives a clear picture of what we have a big problem in South Africa that needs to be properly checked.
Yeah.
Like we need to go back to the drawing board and check what are we doing wrong. Because if you can check properly, a lot of people have lost hope in the justice system.
I also. My family also. My relatives also. My congregants. Remember, when I beat you, I'm not only beating this person.
Yes.
Your sister, your
my
brother,
father, my uncle, everyone.
you know?
People
You know?
become, the people surrounding
People
me
are
around me
lost
are
confidence
affected.
of the police.
Yes.
Precisely because of what is being practiced. You know, I wish it can be indoctrinated. in the police's mind that being a police is not the power and the authority, but it's the responsibility. They are using that as a power, but they are not responsible of their consequences or actions.
I'm really sorry about what you went through, and I would like to say, Guti, you have a supportive wife. You know, Izime, so there's a saying that's always said, men on their own. Indoda iyazimela izozibona. Omunye umuntu wesifazane maybe bekangakwazi ukumela leyo nto, you know, even see you as part of the culprit and say, good, maybe he did it. Maybe, you know, maybe uphumile on that specific day, you went to the shop, then he went out around this time, maybe he did it. So to have a woman by your side to say, Guti, I will hold your hand, I will support you, I'll protect the kids while you're away. I would like to tell you, Guti Baba, you're blessed. In this journey, now Bonile Guti, you are not fighting alone. You had a woman that was thinking very fast to say, there's a car parked outside, I need to jump fast.
Look, when you say I was not fighting alone, it's an understatement. Remember, I was locked behind bars.
Yes.
I was not fighting. I was just a prisoner. She fought the fight, not me.
Yeah.
And when you say I have a wife, that's an understatement. To me, she's a matriarch.
She's everything.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
I'm stronger than before.
Yeah.
I trust him more than ever. I will die where she dies. You know, people talked about my name. That is an understatement. I'm expecting them to sing now about my name. I'm stronger than before. Life taught me to have a stronger character because it doesn't help to be weak.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah, Bonga Baba.
Thank you, ma'am.
And thank you for being strong.
You're welcome.
Hayi. Mina kube ngafela ngaphakathi.
One of my prayers when I was in prison, I said, God, I'm beginning to respect the processes.
Yes.
This guy confessed. No one took note. This guy talked on the formal proceedings of the court. No one cared. I made a bail application. It was denied. Now I'm respecting processes.
Yeah.
Keep me here. God, keep me here. But if you are comfortable for me being here, please keep me intact psychologically.
Yes.
So that when the day of my release comes, I will get it as a free man and a man who is strong psychologically. Because you die psychologically before you die physically.
True.
Psychological, I'm there. And I'll be strong.
Yeah, Bonga Baba.
Thanks
Thank you
a
so
lot.
much for joining.
Thanks a lot.
We'll be continuing part 2
Okay.
with your wife.
Fine.
Yep.
No problem.
Thank you again for joining us as we continue with our part 2 of Pastor Vuyani's story. So right now I'm joined by his wife who will be sharing the story of what really went through while Ubaba was locked up in prison. Sawubona mama.
Lweni sisi.
Ni right.
Siyaphila
How's
njani?
that isixhosa? Hayi sawuthetha.
We will mix.
Ngumzulu kodwa
Here and there.
ngizawuzama.
Okay.
So umama ubuya phi ekhaya?
Ndisuka same address, Fort Beaufort in the Eastern Cape.
Sawubhakelwa uizikeke. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining
You're
us,
right.
ma'am. How has life been when Ubaba was arrested, especially being in a situation where he was falsely accused? How were you holding up?
It was hard because I had, for starters, let me say, I knew that he cannot be involved. Even on the day when this transpired, I was at work. Monday, he told me that there is this thing of Zinhle being missing, of which I knew Zinhle as a colleague and a bit of a friend, if I may put it like that, because as he said, at times he used to go with her, even at my workplace, to report that we are assigned to go for workshop in East London. Sometimes I used to join them. So I knew Zinhle, and my children knew her. There are funny stories that they are mentioning about her. She was this lively woman who was full of life and all that. And they were very devastated when they heard about the story, especially when their father was implicated. It was so bad for them because Mosi Daddy was friends with Uzinhle. Even if the police may take Zinhle's phone, they would see that our pics are there. So we knew the woman, so there's no way that Daddy would be involved in this. So it was hard, and I was in disbelief the whole time. Yes, I was trying to stay strong because I had kids. I've got 2 daughters and a boy. My firstborn was 16 last year. My second born, and then last one, they are 3. So I had to stay strong for them. But inside, I was dead. I knew, Oba, by the time they are at school, it was my time of being vulnerable, of crying, but at the same time, I had to contact the lawyers, do this, do that, because I knew, but I didn't have time to rest. I have to think, I have to do this. And then when they come back around 4, I had to be strong for them. But all that time, it was bad. But God sustained me because I had to put on this arm of faith, praying, but God, please help me. Hey, I was victimized, if I may put it like that,
Yes.
by the community. Because when we go to court, there were protesters, and you would see that this is not only about him now, because he's not there. The only person who is here is me, and the people who were supporting me, my siblings, my sister-in-law, our friends. It was not a lot of people, because some but had to step back because they believed that he did it. Because of I knew the type of my husband is. We've been married for 18 years. I have never seen this side of abuse. I think into uyiqala at home. I don't want umenza abe innocent. I am not even here to take the load into akumele face, but I know him. Yes, we do have our ups and downs as a couple. We fight, we argue, but he is not a person who is aggressive. He's a very sensitive person, man. He's got a soft heart. A person who loves to help. You know, he loves to help. If you come with a problem, Vuyani, he will make it a point that you get the solution. Whether you are a female, at first I complained because I was like, why is he so caring?
Yes.
But it's his personality. He will make it a point that we are in your problem. To be implicated in a murder case, I said, it's not possible. Even when the family members came to fetch me to say your husband has been held at the police station, did you for what? For Zinhle's case, I said, no way. I said to my daughter, bring me my jacket and take his. They said, hi, you must take something warm for him. Did you for what? Because he's coming back with me. I know, but he can never be involved in such a thing.
Yeah.
I said to them, take me to him. I want to look him in the eye. There's nothing that I want to say. I just want us to have a eye contact, because I know we are going to connect. I will see if there is something mischievous, because he cannot keep anything from me. And we went there. When we reached the police station, Dangena, and we made eye contact, and I said, Jesus, no, it's not possible. And he was smiling. All this while, he was smiling. And I thought we were coming back with him. I'm not joking when I'm saying that. But I saw, but they were serious when they said to him, take off your shoelaces. Take off your belt. He cannot, my in-law brought him food. They said, he will not be able to wash his hands. We handcuff you. And I was like, this is being serious. This is becoming serious. Does this mean that I am going to leave him here? And he said to me when he said, love, tomorrow I am coming back. Because I had nothing to do with this. I know nothing about Zinhle's disappearance. And I believed him. I believed him because of knowing the type of the person he is. So it's been hard. I've been undergoing sessions with a psychologist. I've been sick physically. And I was granted leave. I had to ask for leave from work, because I was depressed. I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety, and I couldn't cope. I was always indoors with my kids, fearing for our lives. The gates, we used to lock the gates and we stay inside because we didn't know what would happen. And there were threats going around. So it was a bit hard, but the support that I got from my siblings, my mom, my family, my friends, it was, so that is why ndikwazile ukucopa, ndibe here today.
And then understanding as umama and understanding your kids, how has this affected them, especially on the mental side of it? Physically, kids are kids. They can smile, they can laugh, they can jump, but mawuhlezi assessa kahle umntwana wakho or abantwana bakho, you would see there's something wrong. Iba affected kangakanani this whole situation?
Iba affected kakhulu, especially the firstborn. By the time ezindaba zizile that ubaba ubanjiwe for this, I tried to ndibambe for a day.
Yes.
Up until I decided, but no, they are gonna know anyway. Remember, these kids, the teenagers, they've got cell phones, and by school and still they will hear it, and then I decided to call my family and said, let us sit them down, what is happening. So baxelelwa ke oba utata ubanjiwe, and utata is innocent in all of this. So I maintain alando ba utata is innocent. But you know, most kids are kids. You know uba how cruel our society is. My firstborn was mocked at school. She didn't even want to attend school. She was involved in a fight where I had to go to school and tell the teachers, this is what is happening. And I had to go to Omnye Wabantwana, to their family, to say, my child is being bullied or victimized by your kid, by this thing of bayathetha, they are gossiping. Check on Google his father. His father's name is on Google. He killed or he participated in this. And it disturbed her, even with the grades and all that. But we attended the sessions as a family. And the psychologist try and be strong. Yabanika indlela zokucope with this. And the second born, she's a very quiet person, but she's the one who was affected the most. It was then that I knew about this child is connected with the dead. She was the head girl at the time. And the school principal told me that there are classes that she doesn't attend. She goes to the bathroom and sit there. There's a time where you see that she has zoned off. She is in her own space. I was trying even at home to talk to them. I'm a wellness counselor also. But it was too much for me because I didn't know what to say because now I'm in this situation, but ndandibeke uThixo phambili. Telling them that God says he will never leave nor forsake us. And we know your dad is innocent. He was here with us the whole weekend. But we are the only ones who went out with my girls that weekend. Since his car was broken, and we also have got the second one. I'm the one who's using it. On Saturday, I went to church. And then I came back. He was at home. I took the firstborn to a party that was for a friend. And then we came back. The whole time he was with us, even on Sunday, he was with us. When did this happen? I was trying to tutuzele by saying, we know what we know, that dad is innocent in all of this. There was a rumor that the first accused, the boyfriend of Uzintle, called my husband in the middle of the night. Secondly, the reason the first accused, Zintle's boyfriend, called my husband is because they were involved, this guy, boyfriend Zintle and my husband, in a fraud. And it didn't make sense to me. Nditi, how can you be friends with Uzintle? The boyfriend is not friends with my husband. Let me clarify that. I have never seen the guy in our home, one. I have never even heard my husband talking about the guy. Remember, I said the person I know is Zintle. How possible it is for my husband to assist in bearing Zintle with this guy, because they are not friends. So all of this didn't make sense to me. When my husband received this call at 12 p.m., where was I? And also there is a rumor that this guy came with his car to my house. Where was I when he came? I am a very jealous kakhulu. And when my husband ephuma, there's no way eno puma pandle that I would not hear and follow him. When did this happen? But it was a mystery uba yenzeke kanjani. But so it was bad. The leading party, or Mama, who said they are fighting EGBV. I feel like they have failed me. Some of them, they know me. They didn't even try oba bandibuze oba try what happened. Yeah, some of them, one of them, we have relations because we used to visit her house. We have deep relations.
Yeah.
She didn't even try to contact me. When we met in court, she acted as if she didn't know me.
Oh.
And there, I knew there was something fishy here.
Yeah.
All of the people abalidisha this party elidishayo abathi bayi women's ndondoni yebo balithathe the story as is uyayibona akho nomnye onokhanda ubuza ba kwenzeke ntoni, how are you coping with the kids? And they know my husband. Some of them, they even asked help from him with their speeches.
Yes.
You know. So I didn't understand, but it was ngolhlobo yayilulo. And the first appearance, it was bad.
Yeah.
Everyone was there. Even the church members were there, the community, there were placards, GBV. And there are people who call themselves as activists. Hey, those people are rude. The placards, I had to, when I was entering the court, hence I am saying this was personal. And you could see that it's pointed to me now.
Yes.
The killer is me. Impempe, in my ears. In order for me to ukungena a court, I had to wait for my lawyer. Okokuba, in order for me uba ndikwazi ungena because bamile egate. Yeah, and at my surprise, the person who has killed didn't deny. Let me hold it there. He didn't deny. The person who wanted bail, who said, I am innocent, I do not know anything about this, he was the one who was on the placards. They forgot about, there is someone who said, I did it. But he was never mentioned. It was silent about the boyfriend. It was about my husband. I was asking myself, what is this? What is happening here? Kwenzeka ntoni? Let me live in Doya Court. Social media, I was bashed. His name was tarnished. We were called names. Situkiwe, haikangaka, situkiwe. Situkiwe community. I was born in Fort Beaufort.
Yeah.
Bred and buttered there. They know me. They know my husband.
Yes.
But when you look into this, ungathi singabantu abafikayo abangaziwayo, and ungathi singabantu bane conduct embi in the community, whereas singabantu abazihleleleyo who are going to church.
Yes.
When kufuneka uncedo, we are there. Yeah, but this time around ibijikile pointing at us, whereas kukumtu oti I did this. But yeah, divertwa, and it was a Vuyani panga kahlan, no bail. Yeah, but also, I also blame his colleagues. I want to say this today. I blame the colleagues.
Excuse me.
Because they were all worried.
Yeah.
For starters. This is not about my husband. This was a colleague, Yabo,
Yes.
in that department. My husband was called by Utataka Zintle. Yeah, but was called at the gate that there is this gentleman ne, who says is Utataka Zintle. And to me, it's a question. But also ndiyaziphendula ndithi, because of my husband is someone othandayo ukunceda. Yayibona yamsulela. Yayibona wabizwa egate wayi-attenda. All of a sudden istika kuye isheka kuye. Okay, it's fine. It doesn't matter. On the day of the search, ne? The colleagues said, we are here. In the boyfriend's place. They were there. Some of the colleagues were there. The police were there. Utata Zinhle was there. And my husband went out of this yard to check with the colleague.
Yeah.
The first person to identify the fleece was the colleague. And to me, what do I say as a colleague?
Yes.
There is this video that is circulating. When you look at it, Sisi, you would see it's like he just came to this place to point. Ne? Abati, the colleagues are not saying we were all there. We were searching. Even the one who identified the fleece is silent. He doesn't say, we just came here, no Mr. K, to look. He's silent, he's quiet. I don't think if they were truthful, if they were honest enough to say, even when the community is bashing my husband, they are quiet. Abacho ukuthi we were all there. It's not possible that uyolanda abantu okanye ufonele amapolice obamaweze. We were all searching as the colleagues. And tell me, how can you not be nervous? Xa kukho anonymous call ethi I have buried. To bury is another thing kaloku. Xa kuthiwa I have buried, meaning there is a killing. Angeke ungabi nervous as a colleague okokuqala. Secondly, there are relations up. There is friendship. Uzawuthini ukungabi nervous? They are saying my husband was very nervous. I blame them because they were quiet. They didn't try to defend my husband. Secondly, not even a single one of them tried to contact me and tell me that there is this thing, Mr. K is being arrested. From the management up to the last person. Some of them, they do have my numbers. When they want him, they call me at times. No one. They went silent. Secondly, on the first day of the court, his colleagues were there saying no bail to Ukahlan because it was my husband who wanted a bail. The boyfriend of Uzinhle didn't want bail. It was my husband obefuna a bail. Yes. The colleagues were there, bephethe placards saying no bail to Vuyani Panga Kahlan. How is that possible? So I was... I was angry, but by now, it is well with my soul. If bekufuneke sihambe this journey with my husband of ukuhlukumezeka, sihlukunyezwa community, sihlukunyezwa ngamapolisa, sihlukunyezwa ngabo as colleagues, even some of the church members who believed Oba Bayenzil, they were all protesting there. It was a very hard journey. And the other day, as Baebe mentioned, Amapolisa came to my house, Sikwenza on a Saturday.
Yes.
I've got this assumption. They thought I was not there. Because inkonzo on that weekend yayingene in Alice, in the University of Fort Hare. So they thought I was not there. And I was in my bedroom. My bedroom is facing Endleleni. And I saw there's someone in my gate, two guys in my gate, and across the road there are these people. I don't know who are they, and I was naked, I was bathing. I tried ubandi and I quickly rushed to the gate, and they already left. Some of the neighbors said, Mama, these people were taking photos, they were taking pics, and they did something at the gate, we don't know what. And she said to me, come, Masibaleka. And when we went down, I could see, Uba, no man, this is the investigator who is investigating this case. And he rushed down Wabaleka. He drove Wabaleka. And then I quickly went to the van because it was a private car and a van. I quickly rushed to the van and I said, why are you taking photographs of my house? And when am I going to get rest? Because Puti, remember, my house is not a crime scene. Hi, Mama. They were denying it. I saw you. You were wearing a white Ovis.
Yeah.
And across the road, it is said that you took it off. Who says that? And then I checked around the car. I saw that there's a sticker of SAPS. And I said, okay, these are the police also. I said to my neighbor, Meza, please bring me the phone. They started the car and they left. Luckily, I grabbed the registration number. And my cousin came and we went to the Ebakupin investigator's office.
Okay.
And I found them outside. The person who is investigating, they were three. And I said, what are you doing? What is it now that you are looking for? Anditi, you are saying you have arrested Vuyani kakuhle, right?
Yes.
So why are you up and down? My house is not a crime scene. And I think you were supposed to inform me when you were going to come to my house so that I know nizakuza. But ngoku niyayibisa yonke le nto niyenzayo. And the investigating officer said, Umphathi wabeCubi said to me, don't come here with your nonsense. Don't come here with your drama. And I said, you are saying I'm coming with a drama? You haven't seen a drama. I'm going to do more. That's what I said. And I left. I went to the police station. I reported. And I said, it must be dotted down that they went to my house. Yeah, but, and then I called what is this? I don't want to say the region, but the district police. And I laid my complaint. Unfortunately, it was on the weekend. They said we should talk on Monday. And then I called them on Monday. They said, Cecily, a formal complaint. Yeah, but, and I laid a formal complaint at the DPP because I saw that this case, these people have interest in it. And I said, please kindly remove them from this case and find someone who is neutral, who is going to do a proper investigation on this. So it has been a bumpy ride, and the police were working with the community. It was bad. It was bad. You could see they've got interest in this, and there are rumors that they were funded. I don't want to go there. There were bashes, there were dinners that took place. Bebetyiswa xa bephume court the protesters. It was for the first time. It was for the first time I heard, and I was like, we are not celebrities. We are not people out there. What is happening? Ithini le into yale case. My husband was denied bail. They said they've got evidence, concrete evidence against him. And kusele kancinci oba bafumane, they are waiting for a DNA or what. And then I appealed. They denied him bail. We appealed. He got bail. And I was relieved. At least for him to come out and be at home, you know. Even if we are fighting this, it was a sigh of relief for him to come out. It has drained us psychologically. Even financially.
Yes.
As he has mentioned, we have spent a lot of money. When ujongene nento nje funeka uyazi ba uzawungena epokothweni.
Yeah.
And I had no choice because this is my husband.
Yeah.
This is the father of my kids. Ayikho enye into endinoyenza. I cannot let it go knowing that he is innocent.
Yes.
So that was my journey. Even on Facebook, my name is there. My husband's name is there. By the people who called, they called themselves Obabazi activists. By the people who says they are fighting GBV. But this one was very personal. Because the person who has killed Uzinhle is not denying anything. My husband said he is innocent. You know what's funny? When he was applying for a bail, it was like a trial. We went there, wateta from 11 till 4 in the afternoon. They were questioning him. When it was said you went to buy inja, there was a lot.
Yeah.
And he tried to explain it. But xa ufunda kwi-social media, you see that these people were not interested in this case because they did not follow it.
Yes.
They did not even hear what my husband said. Khange bamve ngexesha ezidefender eziphendulela esithi I am innocent. He said I am innocent. Not being guilty is an understatement. I am innocent because I didn't participate in this.
Yes.
They did not listen. Even today they are surprised when ECTE verdict they didn't find any evidence. They didn't find any link. Yeah, but and there is this local broadcasting our news. I said to them, I don't like the way you are broadcasting
The
this.
story.
They are broadcasting but when they are writing, I didn't like their style of writing.
Yeah.
And I said to the manager, I said, but I'm not worried by what you are doing because you are the same person who is portraying my husband as guilty. Because unezinto zithethayo that my husband is working freely. Whereas the community ingekho happy about that and the family. I don't like the way oyibhala ngakhona. Even now, if you can go and search, uthi he worked free. To work free to me is another thing.
Yeah.
It is like uphunyukile. Yeba? Akaphunyukanga. They saw that there is no evidence. Therefore, mabamsuse from the case because he's not guilty. Yeba? Akaphunyukanga. He had no participation in this. And this is not coming from us. This is coming from the highest authority.
Yes.
From the DPP, from the prosecutors, Oba, there's nothing. But Eyonando and Visaka, they are still continuing now, Oba. They are still continuing, Oba. No, nitakatile.
Yeah.
No, you have bribed people.
Yes.
Yeah, but so that is our journey.
I would like to say you are very strong. It's a different situation because endlini uhlala nomyeni wakho neingane zakho. Out of the blue, he's not at home, and you have to adjust from being the two of you to now being the only person who does everything. And the worst part, it's not only the kids. He's arrested. You must sort out the kids, jump to him, go check if things are okay, check what's the proceedings. Phezu kwalokho, there is a community that is against you. You are a mother. You fear for your kids, you know. I know and I believe ukuthi around that time bekunalento leyo ukuthi awufuni ukusuka emehlweni wabantwana bakho because you don't know what's going to happen.
Yes.
Everyone is angry. And njengoba usho ukuthi we had people that would come to the house, siba assist there and there, but the very same people were against you. It's not an easy journey for anyone, and it's good to see Guti. You believed Guti he's innocent until his innocent was later proven.
Yes.
So kwabanye abantu they'll be like, oh, because umyeni wakhe vele,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
umyeni wakhe vele uzomvikela, but you came to the podcast to clear everything to everyone. Ukuthi I did not bribe, I did not pay anyone, but there was no evidence to prove ukuthi he did that. And now it gives me a different picture of sometimes don't believe everything that you read. It gives me that now, because we read stuff and we believe Guti. That's the truth. And now, as you said, ubaba achazile ukuthi beknokuthiwa kune evidence. There was 20,000. There was things that were found in his garage, but makuthiwa manje lethani lezo zinto as part of evidence azikho. So it also helps us as young people to see ukuthi, because I believe us as young people we believe too much in media. What the media says, it's what we believe in. But right now there's a different view about it. So I think sometimes it's good to get more information, and it's even better when you get it from the horse's mouth to say this is what happened. Following your story, Zinhle, we've been getting different pieces there and there, but to come to a studio today and, as you said, and as Baba said, I'm not here to clear my name, but I'm here to tell you what happened.
Yes.
What is the truth? It is painful at the same time. You know, ukuboshelwa something that you did not do, your freedom is taken away. It's something else. I don't think it's something ngifisa for anyone, because right now I have my freedom. Mangfuna in, I go take. Mangfuna, as he mentioned, there was 60 of them in one cell. So clearly privacy is something else that you don't have. And for him to have umama ofana nawe by his side, it's something beautiful. There's a trend that will tell you Vuyani this and then now we start believing ukuthi uthando lisekhona. It's all about ukuthi wena umuntu ufunani, what do you want in life. And siyabonga kakhulu for coming today and sharing your story. I believe nabantu enhlala around bona, your society, they will see things differently after this episode, because we have our own assumptions. But after getting umuntu akutshela story sakhe, then you start believing that, oh, maybe I was too quick to judge. So I hope even the environment in Pilagoyo, the society in Pilagoyo, things will be different. Not everyone will change, but kuzoba nalaba bathi, I'm sorry. Maybe njaje kakhulu, or maybe I thought, or maybe uzbanban, because some of the things are just hearsays. Besides reading the news, someone will come, hey, lapha kababa phela kunje na kanje, and you start believing that. But siyabonga kakhulu to see ukuthi there are still people that stand by the truth and want to kulungiswa, not ngokulwa, but want to let people know ukuthi this is what's happening. And I hope and pray ukuthi ubaba kaZinhle la khona, with this episode he will find closure, you know. we just hope for the best. uNkulunkulu makakhona, I think izinto ziyavuleka.
Yeah.
They might take time.
Yeah.
They might naye maybe sizofika isikhathi la, you know what, I want to go to that house and just speak to them. Emotions is something else. Emotions can control you to. That's why there are people who do things and then after some time they realize, good, is it me who did that? Because that's the control of emotions. But ngibonge again, Mama, for coming. No baba, niqhubeke nibamba nenjalo. We are learning from you. We're learning a lot, and nabantwana babe right, because with kids they're too much exposed to bullying, and you are not always there. So how they handle the situation, it might be different for how you are going to handle the situation. So keep on supporting them. Banike uthando baludingayo. As you said, this is just a bail. The journey is not over, you know. But kunezinto there zizohamba zibuye, and they will need you guys to be more stronger.
No, let me correct you there. He got bail on the last year.
Last year.
Yes, and on the 12th of September. His last appearance was on the 17th of April.
Last one.
So they withdraw everything from his side. So now he is free because they didn't find anything. So he's free. But they are still talking. Yeah, but people in our community are still talking because of indlela ebhalwe ngayo kwi social media. And lastly, ndingakulibazisanga sisi, lastly, this caught attention of the public, ne? SABC reported this. I don't know the other channels.
Yes.
They came because this story was big. But this time, now that lisuliwe ityala lakhe, they are silent. Yeah, but eyona nto endenze ndanento ethi, no, let's go to the podcast, ne? And sithethe openly about it, because now bayiyekile, uyeba, no one is coming back to say uVuyani Phanga Khahlana is free now. He's a free man because they didn't find any I don't like this name of evidence. They didn't find any relation oba ubethi hlanganiswa yintoni ebengahlangene necase, bengahlanganisananga nalento, bamsusile ngenxa yalonto.
Yes.
Uyayibona? So he's a free man now. A free man enjalo, his life is destroyed. Remember, we were two people. Yeah, but there were two incomes. Now there's one. I'm the one who's working. Yeah, but so things zichinjile ekhaya. Although andingomntu okhalazayo, but ndinento ethi God saw it fit oba asibeke in this position. I don't know why. Maybe ngenye imini we will know okanye we will understand oba why. Yeah, but so this has destroyed igama lakhe. Lento isibek akho ndibhlungu uzibone ukwi public eye, uzibone udragwa kwinto embi ongazange wayicinga. Remember, I'm a female. I cannot rejoice kusithiwa umyenam ubulele a female. Uyayibona? But I'm asking myself, uyibulala njani female? Englamntu anguye. I know him. Akakwazi no abantu abangwedada bayazinqumla inkukhu. One time ndandiphiwa inkukhu ekhaya kulodadam. la nkukhu yahlala pha I had uba ndimphushe ungumntu a very sensitive person yenzeka njani into yoba adityaniswe nokubulala ne and there are rumors oba this guy okanye umyeni wam uVuyani is abusive okanye is an abusive man to me. I cannot hide that. Yebo andikwazi oba ndiyifihle but ndiyafuna ukuthi ebantwini kwi-relationships emitshatweni there are ups and downs but it doesn't mean oba xa ke ngoku kuzawuthethwa ngaye negatively abekwe abembi nam mandimfulathele because I knew oba there was no such because ngeyiqale kum if there was this element of abuse ngeyiqale kum uyabona. And there are these people who call themselves friends zethu. Once you share into naye, it's a big deal. Sometimes you talk to a person out of confidence. But sixabene man noVuyani uyanicapukisa or uthethe ngaye ne-boyfriend yakho yebo because akho relationship ekungaxatywa nayo ufumanisa ba ngoku they are trying uba bayidibanise le nto ba kakade le couple in a problem of which we never had any problem ekucaba ingasohlula yebo. So it was like into yoba mna I should join them ndishiye umyeni nam. I wouldn't have done that. Remember sadityaniswa apha luthando yebo and we got married. We've got kids. We've got 18 years. I would have seen red flags by now. Yeah. So it's like that again.
Sabonga, Mama. Thanks for sharing.
Yes, there's one more other thing that I forget that I'm assuming that it can play a pivotal role for the communities to understand. And when they put their minds in analyzing the story and facts of the story. To my surprise, the investigating officer, during the bail application, she said in the court of law, when my attorney asked her, do you think my client, Mr. Vuyani Kahlana, has killed the woman? The investigating officer replied confidently, said, no, he did not kill. Further argument from my attorney said, what do you think then? He said, we think or we assume that he assisted in burying the woman. Now the logic says, or the logic tells me that I was not supposed to be charged of murder. If the one who's responsible for my case admitted that I did not kill. But she said, he did not kill, but she wrote
Murder.
Contrary to what she said, she wrote on my charges that murder. You know, I wish that also can come out because it leaves people with different ideas and perceptions. But if it can be dished out that he said, I can even send the audio if you want to. She said, no, he did not kill. But on the charges, the first charge is a murderer. If he said I'm the murderer, did I kill the dog? Did I kill the air? Did I kill the chicken? If I did not murder the lady in question, who did I kill then?
Yeah.
And why I've been charged of the murder if the investigating officer said I did not kill? Number two, on my charges, there's a charge that says I defeated the hands of justice. In other words, I did hide the very important information as if I did not know. But I'm the one who phoned saying, come, these are the leads. And I was charged for that. That is this entire contradiction of my case. I wish people can use their brains so as to analyze the story and know the law and know when and how to charge someone for the murder and know how to charge someone for defeating the hands of justice. How do you defeat the hands of justice, whereas you are the one who blew the whistle and say, come and see? How do you charge that person?
Strange.
Yeah, and I thank you.
Siyabonga. I hope kunezinto eziningi esizifundile in today's episode. Don't believe anything or everything that you read. Sometimes it's good to get concrete evidence and see ukuthi this is really the real story, because people change. And as umama no baba said, ukuthi they are friends that were very close to them, but after this happened, everything suddenly changed. Our relationships have changed, friendships have changed, even some of the community members. So siyacela ukuthi nazibantu bomthetho, especially on the Department of Justice and Police, try to do some concrete investigations to avoid ukuthi abantu baboshelwe izinto abangazenzanga, because it's not just destroying someone's life only on the mental or physical state, but impilo abayiphilayo, imisebenzi abayisebenzayo to put food on the table. So siyabonga kakhulu for joining us, and we'll see you next time, same place.
Thank you.